Hey, how's it going on guys, this is Shihab and this is just a quick comparison of Samsung Galaxy S6 and newly announced LG G4. So starting with the design, Samsung is new here, not like the predecessor is using metal and glass body. In the new design of Samsung Galaxy S6 feels kinda of Xperia and iPhone 6 mixture. So Galaxy S6 using front and back glass panel with metal rim around it, and to be honest with you, it looks really good. On the other hand, the design of LG G4 comes from its predecessor LG G3. So the design of LG G4 is identical to the LG G3, but here in LG G4 you have two options, plastic and leather back, and the leather version feels more premium than plastic. Though the design of the Samsung Galaxy S6 influenced by the Apple iPhone 6 and Xperia lineup, but it looks fantastic, and also glass and metal feels very good in hand. So in terms of design, Samsung Galaxy S6 win this department. Now let's talk about the display. Samsung Galaxy S6 has a 5.1-inch Quad HD AMOLED display, where LG G4 has a 5.5-inch Quad HD Quantum display. Both Quantum and AMOLED produce richer color and richer contrast, and both display packs a Quad HD 1440 by 2560 resolution. In Samsung Galaxy S6 you have Corning Gorilla Glass 4 surface protection, and in LG G4 you have Corning Gorilla Glass 3 surface protection. So in terms of viewing experience, both devices are awesome. Now it comes to personal preferences, if you want a 5.1-inch or 5.5-inch. But if you want my opinion, I'll pick the LG G4. So in terms of display, I'm not saying one is better than other, both are awesome. Now let's talk about the hardware. Samsung packs Exynos 7420 chip, while the LG G4 packs Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 chip. But Samsung Galaxy S6 has a octa-core processor, where the LG G4 has a hexa-core or 6-core processor. So Samsung Galaxy S6 has quad-core 2.1 and quad-core 1.5 GHz processor, and the LG G4 has dual-core 1.8 and quad-core 1.44 GHz. But in terms of performance, both are snappy. In graphics, LG G4 has Adreno 418 GPU and Samsung Galaxy S6 has Mali T760 MP8. Both has 3 GB of RAM and a 32 GB of internal storage, but Samsung Galaxy S6 has some more options like 64 GB and 128 GB option. But in LG G4 you have microSD expandability up to 128 GB in spec. But this is the information comes with your spec sheet, but physically you can upgrade up to 2 TB, yes you heard right, 2 TB via a microSD card to your LG G4, which is right now not possible because there is no 2 TB microSD card. There is only 128 GB or some company making 256 GB microSD card. But yeah, the future is here. You have a phone which can handle a 2 TB storage. Wow. And to run all this beauty, you have 3000 mAh battery in LG G4 and 2500 or 2600 in Samsung Galaxy S6. But in real life experience, Samsung Galaxy S6 battery life is terrible, and the LG G4 has a better battery life which can give you a full days of backup. But Samsung Galaxy S6 comes with a quick charging capability which can charge up to 60% in 30 minutes, which functionality doesn't come with the LG G4. You have also wireless charging in Samsung Galaxy S6, and right out of the box you don't have wireless charging in LG G4. If you want to charge your phone wirelessly, you have to use an external cover. Both device has nice specs and handles games and intense work very smoothly. But in terms of hardware, if you want my opinion, I will give edge to the LG G4 because it has an expandable memory and swappable battery. But both devices are great. Now comes the real rivalry, the camera. Which camera is better? Both the Samsung Galaxy S6 and LG G4 comes with a 16 megapixel sensor, but the sensor of LG G4 is slightly larger than the Samsung Galaxy S6. LG G4 has a 1 by 2.6 inch sensor and Samsung Galaxy S6 has a 1/3 of an inch sensor. So in LG G4 you are packing 16 megapixel in a slightly larger sensor, which means each individual pixel of LG G4 is slightly larger than the Samsung Galaxy S6. So the pixel size of Samsung Galaxy S6 is 1.12 micrometer and the pixel size of LG G4 is 1.29 micrometer. So each individual pixel in Samsung Galaxy S6 is slightly smaller than the LG G4, and the larger each individual pixel of LG G4 will help to gather more light than the Samsung Galaxy S6, which will help to make a clean, noise-free image in low light situation. And talking of low light situation, it also has a f1.8 aperture lens compared to the Samsung Galaxy S6, which has a f1.9. Here the lower number is better, so f1.8 is larger than f1.9, and what it simply means is you have a larger opening back in the lens, which will allow to get more light in the sensor than the Samsung Galaxy S6, which will help in many situations, but two are major, which is making a shallow depth of field or simply making your subject in focus and blur out the background, and two is making a clean low light image. So again, it has a physically stronger camera to shoot in low light and produce better picture than Samsung Galaxy S6. Both camera has optical image stabilization, but in LG G4 has a 3-axis optical image stabilization, which is a little bit improved than the 2-axis optical image stabilization. Both has fixed 28mm focal length and LED flash, but in LG G4 has some additional feature like laser autofocus and color spectrum sensor. So laser autofocus throws some laser light, and when it hits a subject and reflects, then it determines how far the subject is and it focus. So focusing with the LG G4 is just a breeze, and color spectrum sensor helps to get a more natural white balance. So again, we are seeing LG G4 has a stronger camera. Now there is some great feature in LG G4 than the Samsung Galaxy S6, like manual control, and now these days more people are getting enthusiastic or putting impression in taking better picture, and manual mode will give you the tons of possibilities to do that. Just like DSLR, you have now control over your shutter speed, your ISO, your focus, and tons of things. And also like DSLR, you have now ability to shoot in RAW. RAW is just unprocessed image which just capture tons of data, and you can process them in later in PC, Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Photoshop software like that. Neither of this feature has in Samsung Galaxy S6. So again, LG G4 wins in software too. Also, you can shoot a 106 megapixel panorama shot in LG G4 compared to the 60 megapixel in Samsung Galaxy S6. Both camera can shoot video in 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames per second, and 720p at 120 frames per second, and both takes a very decent quality video. In LG G4 you have a 8 megapixel front facing cam which shoots video in 1080p at 30 frames per second, and Samsung Galaxy S6 has a 5 megapixel front facing cam which can shoot 1440p at 30 frames per second. Both front facing cameras are capable of doing some great job. By now you know which is the better camera in paper. It's obviously the LG G4, but in real life we have a tons of sample and tons of comparison which says also the LG G4 is better than the Samsung Galaxy S6. So for making a fantastic camera, thanks to the LG G4, drop some like in my video if you like the camera of the LG G4. So definitely LG G4 wins in the camera department. So here is some nice feature of LG G4, which has a removable battery and a micro SD card support. Also the new quantum technology in mobile phone display is a new implementation thanks to LG. Also LG G4 can output a 4K resolution in your TV. Now there are some great features in Samsung Galaxy S6 like fingerprint, heart rate monitor, curved display, quick charge, then wireless charging, and it weighs only 132 grams, which is really light and it's good. I don't like the TouchWiz skin, which is heavy and not beautiful to me. But in Galaxy S6 the TouchWiz is not heavy, it's snappy and smooth. But also the cartoony icon of Samsung Galaxy S6 TouchWiz, I don't like it. Personally, I like the stock Android 5.0 or whatever the upcoming version is coming. I like the stock version of the Android. So in terms of user interface, I definitely go for the LG G4 LG UX 4.0. So who wins in this contest is definitely this LG G4, which has a better camera, practical hardware, snappy software, decent looking display, removable back, battery, micro SD card, and tons of practical things. So that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. Also hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, because more cool tech videos is coming very soon. And definitely let me know in the comment which phone is better to you and why. Anyway, have an awesome time with your tech, and I'll see you guys in next video.